Ireland has been locked out of the bond market since September 2010, and recent reports suggest Ireland may re-enter the bond market soon. Joining me on the line to discuss this further is Lorcan Roche Kelly, Chief Europe Strategist at Trend Macrolytics. Hello, Lorcan. Lorcan, do you think we can see Ireland entering the bond market soon?
Well, Ireland has been making steps back into the bond market for the last 6 months. In July or August of last year, Ireland managed to sell some debt into the market, and again on Tuesday of this week, Ireland sold another €2.5 billion of 5-year debt into the market. And these are kind of steps in towards what Ireland wants to achieve in the market, which is full market access without having to rely on the ECB, IMF, EU, Troika bailout. So they set themselves a goal of raising 10 billion in the market this year. They raised 2.5 billion in the first week in January, so it looks like they will get the 10 billion they need. And then further next year and the year after, they will have full market access, what they're trying to achieve, and they should get that.
There is speculation Ireland could be first to activate the OMT programme. Is this likely to happen, and what would this mean for Ireland's economy?
I think first, before we can answer that question, we first have to try and understand what the criteria for getting access to the OMT is, the outright monetary transactions is. Because Mario Draghi, even at the ECB meeting on Thursday, said that the market understood what the criteria for getting OMT is. But in all honesty, the market doesn't understand. I don't think governments understand either. So Ireland was saying, the Irish Minister of Finance was saying during the week this week, that if Ireland managed to issue a 10-year benchmark bond twice into the market, which sounds a rather strange benchmark, but that's what he says, is if they issue it twice, then Ireland would qualify to access the OMT. I think whether Ireland actually goes into the OMT programme or not depends on where Ireland's bonds are in the market. If they can sell debt quite cheaply into the market, there's no need for the OMT, much like we're seeing in Spain at the moment, which everyone originally thought would be the OMT candidate, but because the funding costs have gone down so much, there's no need of it yet. I think it's unlikely at the moment because it hasn't met the criteria. Once it does meet the criteria, I think there'd be no problem for Ireland to do that because the OMT programme doesn't take seniority away. So I think it's always there as a backstop for Ireland if it needs it, but right now it doesn't qualify for it because it's not fully back in the market yet. And so I think that, but once we get there, once we get the stability of either access to the OMT programme, whether Ireland needs it or not, it should help the Irish economy because it gives that stable backstop to the Irish funding needs.
The Irish government has been trying to persuade Eurozone authorities for some time to strike a deal to allow it to extend the payment schedule of about €32 billion. What could happen if a deal isn't made? I
think the problems with that deal, if it's not made, they're not so much economic problems or market problems for Ireland. I think the problems are political problems for Ireland. Because the government because the way this bank bailout deal works, the Irish government pays $3 billion every year for 10 years, plus some interest on top of that. And because that comes out of current expenditure for the Irish government, it does put pressure on the annual budget of the Irish government. And the Irish government has said that they're going to renegotiate this deal so that we will not have to make this payment every year, rather than have it changed into a bond, maybe a 30 or 40-year bond, and have it a balloon payment far off in the future. For Ireland's funding costs, it doesn't make much difference. But because the politicians have put so much political capital into doing it, they said they will achieve this thing. I think it will be very difficult for politicians to come back with a failure on that. So the risks there are all on the political side rather than the economic side.
And what are your biggest concerns for the Irish economy now?
Well, I think the biggest concern for the Irish economy is because the Irish economy is a small, open economy, it doesn't have much control over its own fate. Once the Irish economy can sort out its budget deficit itself, it does rise and fall based on the global economic trends. Like if Europe does well or if the United States does well, Ireland tends to do well as well because it's a major international manufacturing bases are based in Ireland and financial hubs are based in Ireland too. If the global economy turns down, then Ireland will also turn down. So Ireland is too small to control its own fate on that side. So my concerns for the Irish economy are the same as my concerns for the global economy. If we get global growth, then Ireland's going to do well too.
Thanks for joining me, Lorcan. That's all for now here at Dukascopy TV. We'll be keeping you up to date with the latest financial news. For now though, goodbye.